Okay, so we're going to do some mass and weight whole group practice. First of all, y'all should have noticed when you walked in that there are objects laying out on y'all's desk and tables. Do not touch anything until you've been given permission to touch it. This is a science safety rule. Do not touch anything until your teacher says to touch it. All right, so weight and mass. Which system is our system in the United States? Good, customary. How do y'all know that? Yep, because it says us, the United States. This is ours. If you notice, it says weight and mass. We, in the United States, use weight units. So we're going to label this units of weight. So we do units of weight, but they metric. Why do we do metric if that's not us, the United States? Yes, it's everywhere else in the world, I agree, but why do we have to do it if I don't live in the other part of the world? Not because I move, because metric is used in science across the world. So because we learn science in the United States, we have doctors, scientists, astronomers. They've got to communicate with other scientists about medicines, about new discoveries. We have to learn the metric system. So weight is first, which is us, and then mass is theirs. I always think of it like M&M, metric, mass, M&M. These are mass units, or units of mass, whatever. All right, so let's go to the customary first. Customary units of weight. You've got ounces, which are the lightest. Ounces build into a pound. 2,000 pounds becomes a ton. Notice that tons capitalize the abbreviation. It's kind of like liter. I don't know why, but it is. Now, weird thing is pound starts with a P, right? But it's LB. Well, that's because libras, I believe it's with an A, libras in Spanish is pounds. So a lot of our words come from Spanish origin. So we do LB. Weird, I know. All right, so we have ounces to pounds, pounds to tons. In mass, this is one thing I always get rid of. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen them use milligrams. I do not know why it is on these star charts. It's never been on a test. It's never been on any workbook. It's weird. So just like all the other metrics, it's got the ones with the zeros. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So kind of a unique thing. So our customary, our United States weight units, blank are light. Well, if y'all have noticed the trends with your star charts, the bottom to the top is small, smallest unit to biggest unit. If y'all haven't noticed that, like inch to feet, feet to yards, yards to miles. So ounces. So our unit of ounces are light. Like the metric mass unit, their lightest one is gram. And I'm going to actually do this by color coding. I would tell the kids ounces. Does that sound familiar? And take a moment to talk about why we've got ounces with weight, but then we had ounces with our capacity, our liquid unit, remember? But they had FL in front of them. What did that FL mean? Fluid, yeah, flowing ounces. And in a cup, it was only 8 ounces with weight at 16. So in our system, ounces are the lightest for our weights. And then in the metric, the M&M, the metric mass system, grams are the lightest. What does that make these two if they're both the lightest? Yep, these two are BFFs, best friends forever. And like best friends, they're close. Not as in close, we're close, to each other in space. No, we're close in size. Like best friends have similar things about each other. Same thing. Think of them like a small handful of green beans. So ounces, I'm going to kind of draw a couple of beans. And by grams, I always remember that G, green beans. So like a couple of beans. Imagine how light beans are. It'd be like this right here. This pencil hefting it, That's an ounce. Those are grams, super light. All right, well then we're going to build. And right here we see 16 ounces makes a pound. Our United States, our customary unit of pounds. No, we're not going to abbreviate right now. We're going to write our pounds. They're heavier. They're heavier than the ounces. Just like their metric M&M, their metric mass unit, kilograms. Kilogram, kilogram, tomato, tomato, up to you. That's going to make these, since they're both heavier, these are your BFFs in this system. Anytime I come across kilogram, in my head, I replace it with the word pound. Quite honestly, I don't know if I'd share that with y'all yet, but anytime I see kilometer, not only do I think of the song Down the Highway, like, hey, 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 but when I see kilometer in my head, I think miles. This is the reason I associate the BFFs, and you need to talk about that. Like, when you see kilometer, you need to replace kilometer with mile, because that's what I understand. I don't understand kilometer. When I see kilogram, I don't really understand that, but I understand pounds. My body's weighed in pounds. So make that connection that just because it says kilogram, we can still think pound. All right, so the ounces and the grams are like a handful of green beans. Pounds and kilograms are heavier. Think about large bags of beans or even huge feed sacks of beans. So pounds, now you're talking about, and I don't know, I'm drawing off the top of my head, but kind of like that, like a sack of beans. Or like I'm thinking those feed stacks, big bags of dog food. Big bag dog food. These pounds, these ounces were like a couple of beans. You get this large sack full of beans, you've got a pound or two or three. You get those big dog pound, I mean, they're 25-pound bags. So you've got pounds. Same thing as over here with the kilogram. You've got these small beans, but then this is like the pound, which I'm not going to draw because if I have it written there, and at this point I'd probably be getting up. Plus, here's a way I remember kilograms. If you were lifting large bags of beans or large bags of feed, it'd be a killer. It'd be really heavy, like, oh, this is going to kill my muscles, like a kilogram. Ha, ha, ha. Or here's where that bean connection comes in with those projects. 1,000 grams, notice the G is bold. 1,000 grams is like 1,000 green beans, like 1,000 beans. 1,000 grams is a kilogram. And anyone who eats 1,000 grams, 1,000 G's, 1,000 green beans would be a killer, like kilogram, to be around. Side note, take a moment. Yes, I'm talking about eating beans. Anyone know the bean song? They probably don't. So then this is the moment you teach students. Beans, beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. Beans, beans for every meal. And then you sing it a couple more times because if a kid doesn't know that song, it's a very sad world. So, to go back, what's our lightest unit? Ounces. What are they like? Green beans or pencils, right? Who is the ounces similar BFF? Grams. G, green beans. GG, green bean. If you gather up 1,000 green beans, woo! If you ate that many beans, you'd be a killer. Ugh, stinky. Beans are a magical fruit. And kilograms are what we know as a pound. They're much heavier. They're like big bags of feed, small bags of feed, but heavy. Now, in customary, you grab 2,000 pounds, you're in what we know as a ton. And our large unit, and it's capitalized, is a ton. Notice this word. What is that word? Extremely large unit. I mean extremely large. It is equivalent it is equal to 2,000 pounds. Y'all, that is a semi-truck of green beans. It is big. It is heavy, heavy, heavy. People are not able to lift objects or animals in tons. You would have to use machines. I mean, even 5 people, 10 people, that's just, it's too much. Trucks. Notice I said semi-truck. That's the big trucks. Like your 18-wheelers or whatever. That's horribly drawn, so forget my drawing, but you know what I mean. Large trucks. A regular car, your regular size trucks, they're heavy, but they're still pounds. I mean, you can be like 1,800 pounds. You can be 1,900 pounds. You're not a ton until you hit 2,000 pounds. Tons, y'all, they would be like a semi-truck, a large tractor. Dually pickups, the ones with the big humps over the back wheels, maybe. A cow? Cows aren't even tons. The females are, you know, like 1,500 or 1,700. Now a bull, a big bull, maybe hits that ton mark. Whales are tons, yes. Giraffes, maybe. I mean, and this is a point where you can kind of Google if you want, like pounds versus tons. If you want, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on that today because we're going to go over it again tomorrow, but you totally could. Today is more of the introduction piece. Tomorrow you can elaborate a little more. All right, so now we're going to I'm going to instruct y'all. Y'all read me the directions. So they're going to read that they're going to pick up an object and heft it. So you show them like this is hefting. And then y'all will decide whether it is the customary unit ounces, which will be like the green beans, the grams, or is it pounds, which is like kilograms. What unit's missing, I might ask them. Tons. Yeah, why is tons missing? Yeah, because obviously I'm not going to ask y'all to try and pick up a ton. Obviously. So Monday, y'all need to find pencils, easy. Dictionary, easy. A backpack, grab a kid's backpack if you have to. Put a couple of items like, I mean, don't get crazy, but like put a lunchbox and a notebook, like regular things. Don't add extra. Fake coins, just, it doesn't matter. Just grab a handful. A thesaurus, and then a tissue box. Have these things out. Now, if it were me, I would have them out like 4 pencils spread out, or 5 pencils, and 4 of these, and 4, a few. However you want to do it. So heft a pencil. Everyone can heft their own pencil. Is that, what do y'all think? Is that ounces, grams, like G? Is it like green beans? Or are they killers? Like, man, it's a killer that it's heavy. Gah. What do you think? Yeah, ounces and grams. This is ours. United States ounces. Green beans is the mass. All right. Object 2. I want y'all to grab the dictionary and heft it. Just heft it, meaning hold it and kind of light, heavy. What do y'all think? Definitely is heavier. Okay, so do you think it's like a handful of G green beans? Is it light like ounces? Or is it heavier like a sack of green beans? Yeah, it's like a sack of green beans. So what should we choose? Yep, pounds and kilograms. It's like a baby, right? Like a small baby. All right, the backpack. What do y'all think? Yes, I agree. It's like the dictionary. It's heavier. Definitely pounds or kilograms. Object 4. So you hold 1 fake coin or 5 fake coins. It doesn't matter. What do y'all think? Yeah, it's really light. I agree. Grams. It's like holding a green bean. Ounces. Very, very light. Okay, the tissue box. Yep, ounces and grams. I agree. It's very light. What about the thesaurus? Yeah, it's kind of that in the middle. It's not really heavy, is it? But it's not really as light. It's not as light as the coins or the pencils, is it? But is it as heavy as the dictionary and backpack? No. So this is really one where the thesaurus is probably not quite a pound. It might be close, but to me, this one would make the most sense. So this is, to me, just an engaging part of them feeling differences between ounces and pounds, grams and kilograms. Okay, then, now we're going to go into more specifics. Before I do any of these, I wish I would have done it in a different order. I'm a ding-ding. Let's come down here and do some conversions. Let's start with the easy one. We have kilograms, and we need kilograms to change to grams. What do we call that when we want them to change? Yeah, we want to convert. Y'all say that word. We're going to convert. When we change from pounds to ounces, we are converting. Well, if you look, we're converting the kilogram to grams. So 1 has 1,000. So 1 is 1,000. So what I notice right away is 1 is 1 with 3 zeros. All right, so let's fill this in together as we talk. 1 is 1,000. 2 is 2,000. 3 would be 3,000. 4 would be, 4,000. Because here's what you should notice. 1 is 1, 3 zeros. 2 is 2, 3 zeros. 4 is 4, 3 zeros. And even though we're adding 3 zeros, it's really one group of 1,000. It's multiplying. When you multiply by zeros, they tack on. This is 2 groups of 1,000 and 4 groups of 1,000, which makes perfect sense because 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1, 2. 4 times 1, 4. When you multiply by 1, you stay the same. All right, we're not going to fill in any more of that. Let's go back up here and find all the ones that have to deal with the grams and kilograms. The car. Do you think a car is grams or kilograms? Yeah, I think lifting a car would be a killer on my back. Ouch. Even though 6,000 grams, are y'all sure? That sounds like a lot. Well, let's see. If you had 6,000 grams, here's grams, right? If we put 6,000 here under grams, how many kilograms would that be? 6. And kilograms, if I look at my notes, what are they like? When I see kilogram, I need to be thinking a pound. Do you think a car is 6 pounds? No, because heck, a newborn baby can be more than 6 pounds. My children were 9 pounds. So that's equal to 6 pounds, so no. So we're either talking about 2,000 kilograms or 2 kilograms. What are kilograms like? Pounds. So this is what I mean. In my head, I'd be thinking pounds. Is the car 2 pounds or 2,000 pounds? Yeah, this makes a whole lot more sense, especially since we said it's more than 6. So definitely you wouldn't go down to 2. Sorry, y'all, I'm half asleep. Football. What do you think? What should we be thinking when we hear killer, like it's a killer? It's heavy, right? Heavy, like what do we think of? We think of them like pounds, right? Grams, what are they like? And y'all can look on your notes. Yeah, grams are like G. They're like green beans. 5 green beans. So like 5 of those fake coins compared to a football. Do you think that's the same? I don't think so. I think that's a little too light. Do you think a football is 30 pounds? No, you wouldn't be tossing them down a field, let me tell you. 6 pounds? Maybe. I don't know. Newborn babies are like 6 pounds. Do you think a football is as heavy as a newborn baby? Maybe, maybe not. What about 500 grams? 500 grams. Well, 1,000 is 1. 500 would be what? Yeah, half, because 1,000 broken into half is 500 plus 500. So this would be like half a kilogram, which is like half a pound. What do you think it is? Honestly, I mean, I'm not even, at this point, I'm like leaning toward, unless it's a foam football, I'm leaning towards 6 pounds because kilograms are actually a little bit less. And you can tell them that. I mean, and I think to like a discus is 5 pounds. I mean, so I think that would make more sense. Let's see. All right. Dresser, like where we put our clothes. What do we need to think of kilograms as? Pounds. So a 500-pound dresser, or 70 pounds, or 20 green beans, or 350 green beans. Which ones do y'all think we can get rid of? Yep, the grams. So which one makes more sense, a 500-pound dresser or a 70-pound dresser? Yeah, I would think a dresser would be like a grown person. We're not going to be moving around 500-pound pieces of furniture. And I don't know why I said to skip down here, y'all, except that I'm a little bit tired because I think these are okay. Pounds, ounces. Well, what do we say that we knew 2,000 pounds was? 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. So ounces. What did we say ounces were like? Look at your notes. They're like grams, right? And grams are G green beans. You think an elephant's like 15 green beans? No. 4,000 ounces. That'd be like 4,000 green beans. I mean, and this just, no. If it says ounces for something that large, no. So is the elephant, you think 300 pounds or 11,000 pounds? Yeah. Elephants, huge. To be, I mean, huge. 300 pounds could be like a large grown man. So, no. All right, a beetle. Which, are there any here that you, there's one I want y'all to find that you don't think would make sense. Or I can think of two. All right, yeah. I don't think this beetle is like 4 pounds, like 4 bags of feed. No. Or like 4 big boxes of green beans. No, not 4 pounds. Your dictionaries were probably 2 pounds. So yeah, beetle's definitely not 4 pounds. Is there another one we could get rid of? Why 16 ounces? Because it's too big? Well, how do you know it's too big? What's special about 16 ounces? Look at your notes if y'all can't figure it out. 16 ounces is a pound. So this 16 ounces is 1 pound. Do you think that that beetle is like 1 large bag of green beans? No, that'd be a pretty large beetle. 8 ounces. Well, if 16 is 1 pound, what is 8? Yeah, that's half a pound because 8 plus 8 is 16. So either the beetle is half a pound or it's not even, I mean, or it's a small, small part of an ounce. And it's this one, oddly enough. I mean, half a pound. The thesaurus is probably half a pound. So beetle definitely has to be smaller. And then the stove. Which ones could we get rid of? Yeah, 16 ounces, I agree. We just said 16 ounces is 1 pound. That stove is definitely more than 1 pound. We've got 30 pounds, 130 pounds, or 160 ounces. Ounces is not good at all, right? Because pounds are heavy. And even though that's going to be more than 1 pound, we need to be looking at pounds. Look at the dresser. What did we say the dresser was? 70 kilograms, which is a killer because it's like lifting 70 pounds. It's heavy, right? Do you think a stove is heavier than your dresser? Yeah, me too. So what makes the most sense? Yeah, 20 is the most reasonable. All right, let's convert. So 1 has 16. So this would be like having 1 group of 16. So 2 would be 2 groups of 16. Now you could come over here and do 2 groups of 16, but I like to just use the chart. I'm going to just put 2 groups of 16. 12, 32. 1 pound is 1/16. 2 pounds is 2/16. 3 pounds is 3/16. So this is 2/16, right? So let's add another. Because every time you add 1 pound, you add 1/16. If I add 1 here, I add 16. So what would it be, y'all? Yep, 48. So let's wait. What is the pattern? What's our rule? Well, it's pounds times 16 equal ounces, or ounces divided by 16 equal pounds. Because if this way is multiply, then the opposite way is divide. Why is that? Fact family. All right, so we're going to compare. We're talking about 4 pounds. Is that on your chart? No. So let's add it. 3 plus 1 is 4, right? So when you add 1 here, you add, 16. So that's 14, 4, 5, 6. So 4 pounds is the same thing as 64 ounces. So I'm going to mark this out and write 64 OZ, 64 ounces. Which one's greater? Yep, 64. 2 dots are greater than 1 dot. So my thought was to use this to fill in the chart. So now we're comparing 7 pounds to 112 ounces. Well, is there a 7 on here? No. 7 is pounds, so let's make sure to put 7 under pounds. What's the pattern? How do I go from a pound to an ounce? Yep, times 16. 1 times 16. 2 groups, 16. 3 16s. So 7 groups of 16. What's 7 times 6? Yep, 42. And 7 groups of 1 is 7 plus 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 7 pounds is the same thing as 112 ounces. What does that make them? Can you think of a better word than equal? Equivalent. Good. Dojo. Ding, ding, ding. All right, 10 pounds. Let's plug in 10. What's the pattern? How do you convert a pound to an ounce? Yeah, pound to ounces. It's 10 groups of 16. Well, here's what I know when I multiply by 10. What you're really multiplying is by 1. 16 times 1 is 16, right? And then you add, if you ignored the 0, add the 0. So 10 groups of 16, hello, I don't know what I'm doing. 10 groups of 16 is 160 ounces. So we're comparing 160 to 180. 160 is less, yes. 1 dot is less than 2 dots. And then this one should be easier. So we're going to compare 5 kilograms to 5,177 grams. So 5 kilograms. Here's our kilograms. Do we have 5? Nope. Plug it in. So we need to go from kilogram to gram. 1 to 1,000. 2, 2,000. 4, 4,000. 5, 5,000. So 5 kilograms is 5,000. 8 kilograms is 8,000. 10 kilograms is 10,000 grams, right? That was easy. So 5,177 is greater. 2 dots is greater than 1. 8,092 is greater. 2 dots is greater than 1. 9,000 is less. 1 dot is less than.